Okay, so now I want to have like a pre-cooked incremental reading. So that's a Wikipedia article, and that will be the first entry, like the summary, before it goes to the specifics. It's, hey, let me see this, what I will have closed and extracted if I would have read this article and I would have done those flashcards, the flashcards in the original collection. So I don't repeat this myself. We can do that now with AI. So now what's next is to use the AI. What I would do is this. Open in the browser, only select items, export that as a Q&A file, no HTML. Yeah, why not? Come on. Nice. So now I ask the AI, I already know all of these facts about Rosetta Stone. Paste. Now, that is the text. Please bold all parts that reference what I already know. I paste, sorry. Let me paste again the Wikipedia. Didn't made it to the clipboard. Yeah, thank you. So that's the huge prompt. I already know the facts about Rosetta Stone. Whoops, that was super quick. That's a new canvas in GPT. And here you go. So now what is in bold is something I already know. Perhaps I would have done the opposite. Bold what is not known to me. The other, let me double check. How was the end? Three other, field of knowledge. Yeah, it's the end, okay. So now what I could do is I will extract this, it's the same text, and now I will replace it by the one with ChatGPT. Here you go. And now what I can do even extra mile. What I can do is modify the contents externally. I cannot do this with Supermemo, view source. Is it strong? Okay. Now, find and replace. Where's this in Notepad? Replace. Okay. So with strong, find that, and add a class, CSS class, closed, as if I have done the closation myself. Let's see what happens. Nice, look at that. So theoretically, I would have extracted, because it's very dense, information dense. So I would have done an extract of that, an equivalent of doing, yeah, this guy, this other one, So I know that was ancient Greek and was at the bottom. Coptic in the middle and hieroglyphics at the top. Was used to decipher that, that's correct. Well, 3 version of a decree issue, yeah, I didn't know that. And I didn't know that, so I know the material, but the flashcard said something like black something, 1 second. It was at the top. Black basalt, and Wikipedia, still off, Gurano, the ice. I'm assuming it's the same, but it's more technical, more scientific. Is granodiorite the same as black? I forgot once again, oh my god. Basalt. Because sometimes you just have the common noun name for it. No, it's not the same. They're both ingenious rocks, but they have different compositions, appearance to form processes. Extrusive, intrusive. So now I'm realizing that what was on the flashcard is not that accurate. So that was for him, for the author, good enough that, yeah, it's not that precise, but it's a good, close enough. I don't need to be so precise and truthful. That way, that kind of material that I know it's very resistant, very dense, this shape of color, but scientifically, it's not the same thing. So now I will copy that, and here you go. I extract this, the first sentence that contains, and I paste the contents of GPT. So that is wrong. That's what's good about incremental reading. So I can incrementally get rid of that and solve this. So basically, two options. I will modify the existing flashcard, but since it's in this case, it's on isolation, because it's just from the flashcard, I don't have the source. What I will do instead is remove that one. Let me do it already. I will dismiss it, and I put the comment of wrong. So I can filter this later and see all of the wrong flashcards. But it's still not deleted, it's still there, because I had created the genuine one, the correct one. But hey, I spent some time, so I will still leave this, and perhaps what I will do is leave the child, because hey, now I learned that this in English is called black basalt, and I will keep it in my memory now that I know how it is in English, because I know this but in Spanish. So even though the reason, the motivation to remember that now doesn't hold because it was wrong, it's there, and you know what? Let's keep it, because from now on, this exists nearby where I live. So I can use it. It's part of my context where I live. So now I can fully describe it in English. So hey, kind of a weird random way to go there. So instead of, hey, I see this and I want to describe it in English, I know how to do it. Let me Google that. Instead of that, I needed to read the Wikipedia article about the Rosetta Stone from centuries ago. Wow. Let's continue. I was here. But even though the AI is correct, because detected that is the material. And then is, well, what is this as well? Let me ask. It's an upright stone slab column, often inscribed in text, decorated. Okay. So this is independent of the material. Now it's no, for instance, there's an obsidian. So what I will do, I will have this as reference. Because for me, it's the most simplified version for me is obsidian. Not this one, but the other logo. Alt logo. Here you go. This one. That is upright, more or less is the shape, makes sense. So what you can do is use what I'm familiar with, the logo of obsidian, for knowing that what this steel, I don't know how it's pronounced. So I'll do again another extract. It's the exact same extract, by the way, but I will modify it right away, and it's still. Now I have a lot of styling. What can I do? Ctrl Shift F12. I get rid of it because the focus is here. That's my obsidian, that's my key, the key for my future self. Obsidian, the personal knowledge management, not the material, just in case, and especially alt logo for the steel. And that's a language flashcard at the end of the day. But I won't do it now. This will take the incrementalism. Let's continue. The king, yeah, was something, but again, I don't care. I'm assuming it's the same guy. Then the stone was, this is like precooked. So far, so good. Next, theoretically, I will wait for this, but for the sake of the video, I will finish this off. I think it's 3, 4, yeah. I'll have done this in 4 repetitions. The stone was carved during the which period? Was this is certain or is just believed? How do you know that? Yeah, I'm not going to memorize anything that is just believed. Probably moved, I don't care about that then. I want facts that are known. The scientific Egyptology, may I guess. For Julian, that name didn't appear. Near the town of Rashid. Oh, Rosetta is Rashid in their language. I have heard that. And there's a similar name for males. In the Nile, the altar was found in July. July? Another incongruation. If I go to the flashcard, it said August. Bro, July. Okay, in this case it's wrong, but as I said during the recording of the other video, is that I only care about the year. I don't have any event within the same year that justifies that I need to know the month. So I know what predates what comes first. Until I don't have this need, I don't care. It's one day off. No big deal. No. It was the first ancient Egyptian bilingual covered by the modern times, and it was aroused by its public interest. No. I didn't know that. Lithographic copies and plaster casts began circulating among European museums and scholars. I know that the original copy, it's on the museum, the British Museum in London, but I didn't know that fact. So in this case, the AI is incorrect. That's a false positive. But it's good enough. It's good enough. When the British defeated the French, they took the stone. Exactly. I remember the day. Yeah, I have a flashcard for that. What I didn't know is that it's the most visited object. It's like Mona Lisa. In the museum where it is at, is the most famous, the most visited as well. So the same thing. But yeah, no need to memorize this fact. Study of the decree was already known. Yep, I remembered. No, I remember the flashcard says 1822-23 because I remember it says years in plural. It took longer still before scholars were able to read ancient Egyptian inscriptions later confidently. Yes, those are the years. So the discovery in the 3 versions, 1799, the phonetic characters in 1802, the demotic at 14, and finally the native Egyptian words, or I forgot the name, how they call it. There was those flashcards, the list, how they call it. Oh yeah, that was the king, by the way, yeah. The determinative, oh my god, the determinative. So I'm going to forget this. That's why it's okay if it's a crazy high priority, because I can tell you, next month, in 33 days, when this becomes outstanding, I will fail it. But I will remember this fact. I have on the list is the one that I know semantically what it is, but I forget the name, determinative. Cool. Then if that is the case, then I will reuse this part. 3 other fragmentary copies of the same decree were discovered later. Okay, so the same text in a different place. Rosetta Stone is known to be no longer unique. So it was not unique, the contents, basically, the text. But it was the essential key for the modern understanding of Egyptian literature and civilization. The term Rosetta Stone is now used to refer to the essential clue to help a field of knowledge. I don't have a flashcard for that. So far, this experiment of the Precooked incremental reading, it's good enough. So I got like 2 false positives. That it was marked as I have So far there has been two cases that I detected that was selected as something, a fact that I already knew it was covered in the flashcards, and I didn't know at all. But this precookedness is good enough because visually you can see the holes. For instance, I can see here that if they're somehow overlooked, it will be details because most of the content is orange. If I only had 3, imagine that a paragraph, I only have 1, is A. It's very likely that that paragraph contains new information for me. But keep in mind that this is just the extract that pretending I have done incremental reading since the start, and I didn't use the shared deck. And even though that was not a wise choice to do, because the deck is more than 20 years old, it's from someone else, and it's just 40 questions. It's not that it's very precise because one curriculum for math or medicine and saves a lot of time. No. Those 40 questions could came from one article that I can do in 1 hour. But it's a good example because it will be really hard for me to search something that I have done very incrementally in my collection and it's from the same topic, but not covering the same content. So if I don't search for that, for instance, Rosetta Stone, many questions were related to Rosetta Stone without mentioning Rosetta Stone. But the people involved or in the events that were involved or were relevant. So eventually, if I can do this in my collection, a genuine case, I will do it. It will be more meaningful. That's something I did last month, last year, 4 years ago, last decade. In my case, I couldn't go as far as 15 years ago when I started using speech repetition. But that's good enough because now in a video you have seen the original flashcards, the flashcards I made, how I adapted them, and then how I correct them if they are mistaken, obsolete, outdated, and how I make my own. The limitation of this video, this experiment, is that everything happened in the same day. So I hadn't had time to process, forget, memory consolidation, all of that. But for a video, it's good enough. What I could do, if it's worth, is an update once I do genuine repetitions and see how it looks. At least I can track it here because I have the concept group. So it will be easy to do. I hope you have gotten some value out of this video or series of videos because it has taken longer than I thought. I had pleasure to do it. I had pleasure doing it. I will keep this in my collection for real. Perhaps I will change priorities, but I will keep it. And yeah, let me know if it was helpful for you and consider donating to support this channel so I can make more videos like this one. See you incrementally.